Hey Josh and Madison and Courtney. It's your Uncle Dave, obviously, and I'm at the dog park with Chloe, and I wanted to share with you a story that I've been keeping for a long time. And now today, June 20th, feels appropriate. It's the day that John passed away, and I know that you miss him terribly, as do I. And I wanted to share with you something that is part of me, and now it's going to be a part of you. Um, I call it the 5 cent miracle because it truly is a miracle. And I'm going to show you something here. There it is. It's a nickel that's been pressed into a cross. And so here's the story. All right, so I want to talk to you guys about this 5 cent cross. And it's a miracle and a true story. And it took a long time for this story to happen. Over years. It started back in 1995 when John purchased it at a country jamboree festival. And he bought it for me and he gave it to me because he knew I was going through some particularly hard times. Um, and I kept it all these years. And it meant a lot to me, especially when he passed away in 2006. It was a really difficult, difficult time in all of our lives. And I got this nickel out and I put it on the windowsill in my kitchen above the sink, and I would be reminded of him with it sitting there. And so I kind of got used to it being there and I forgot about it. And then just one day I noticed it wasn't there. And I looked everywhere for it and I couldn't find it. And I just thought, oh man, I hope it didn't go down the sink, the drain. I didn't know, and I looked for it everywhere, but it's just one of those things you lost. So, you guys remember Griffey. He was a great dog, and I still miss him a lot and think about him. And so, what happened was one day I was walking with Griffey, and I walked by this hill, kind of like the hill behind us, behind Chloe. That's Chloe. So behind the hill there, I just imagined John walking up over it, and he was walking with Griffey. And I don't know why I imagined that. It was a beautiful thought. So it made me sad because I realized, someday Griffey's going to die. And I didn't want to think that. So I kind of tucked that thought away and just kept walking. And a few months later, as it would happen, Griffey was diagnosed with cancer, and he was 12 and a half years old, and he lived a beautiful life, wonderful times we had together. So it was a really, it was a painful day when he was diagnosed with cancer. And the vet told me, what would happen, and it did. He watching him watching him just lose his strength and lose his appetite and be in a lot of pain over the next few weeks was painful to watch. And I knew the day was coming when I would have to put him down, and it was a day I dreaded. I was terrified, and it would not be denied that day came, and it was a day of fire for me. It was horrible. So when I called the vet, it was just the worst. Oh, it was the worst feeling in the world. And when the vet came out, she was very compassionate. It was a beautiful thing, a beautiful moment to have, to be there at this last moment. But at the same time, I just felt so responsible for his life, and it felt that I was the one that was taking it. And I knew that it had to be done, but it was really painful. So after the vet left, I was devastated, obviously, and I was just sitting there crying, and I just thought, God, please take care of Griffey for me until I can get there. Give him to John to take care of until I can get there. I just can't handle this right now. and I let it go. And I went for a walk with Chloe and came back, and I sat on the back patio, and I mustered enough courage to call Mom and let her know what had happened. And she was compassionate, and I was telling her the story from the beginning, the day. And while I was talking to her, I was sitting down, I had my hand in a flower pot. It was a large flower pot, and I was just playing in the dirt. And while I was sifting through it, the nickel was in the dirt. That nickel was right there. Yeah, Chloe, she's crying. It was an incredible, incredible thing to find at that moment. The nickel that John gave me on the day, you know, that Griffey passed away, and I asked John to watch Griffey for me. It was such a neat miracle, and it just let me know that God is always watching us and thinking about us. And these little miracles that happen, sometimes they take years to work their way through. So you just never know. And so I want you guys to know that story, because I think it's important to realize that your dad definitely loved both of you, even though he couldn't be in your lives while you got older, or even got to meet you, Courtney. But I know that he would have loved you very much. And so just always remember, when you're in a terrible place, that you can reach out to God, and he is there to take your hand, and he can work miracles in ways you cannot even imagine. So I just want you to carry that story with you, and hopefully someday one of you will have that nickel, and it'll be a comfort to you, and maybe one of your siblings or kids or somebody they'll be grieving as well, and you can share that nickel with them in the story that God is looking out for them and cares, because he does comfort us when we are grieving. So I just wanted to give this to you today, and just let you know that I'm thinking of you, and it's a beautiful Father's Day. He is with God in heaven, and he loves us all very much, and we'll see him again. So God bless, and talk to you soon, I hope. Okay, bye.